Alright, people. Welcome back to Just Bet TV, the show where we bring down the biggest football moments and give you all the insights that you need to make smarter bets. Expect that I'm going to make a lot of mistakes today, Sean, because I'm a bit excited, people. And of course, you know why. But I'm not sure telling why.
Yes, everybody. The Gunners are in the Champions League finals and it's a sad day in football.
What more? Just eliminate the last part of it. Just the first one.
Yeah, after repeated, the Gunners are in the Champions League finals. Now the bad news is out the way. Let's continue to what we do best.
Sorry, this.
So I can't do the Arsenal fan them, but carry on, bro.
Alright, so this week our focus, of course, is on the Champions League semi-final second legs and the English Premier League weekend. And of course, Shav, you like to talk about money and fun control.
Jordan, let me tell you, every week we come here, I'm saying I feel more on football I won last week, close to 63 million. Basketball, 23 million. That's over 94 million, bro.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah, man.
Money
People tuned in and people taking advantage of all the insights and all the tips and little tricks that we give you on how you can maximize your winnings with Just Bet. So, we want to look at a couple of winning tickets.
Yeah, man,
Right?
Jordan. I have them right here.
Yeah, man.
You know me highly impressed with some of them punters here because I don't know what kind of maths they must study or what kind of college they go for punt.
They might be down to a
Yeah,
science.
man. I need to go there too. But this is my favorite ticket out of the two. This one, the punter used $5,000 and earned 635,000 to be exact. And this is how he did it, bro. He went GG for Atletico and Athletic Bilbao, Bayern Munich to win, FC Barcelona to win, Liverpool to win, Tottenham Hotspur to win. Big up you with that courage there. Olympic Lyon, Bayern Leverkusen, win or draw for AS Roma, and AS Monaco to win. And the last team on the ticket, Arsenal to win.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Kudos.
Yeah, trust me.
Kudos to whoever that put down.
He's good.
And guess what? We're going to be talking about it more time. Hope you went to goldrush.justwinja.com and you fill out entry form because you can have the chance to win ultimate football experience of a lifetime to watch the world's greatest show in New York. So hopefully that one is taking advantage because you only need a $1,500 ticket or more.
Well,
$2,500.
Yeah.
To enter. And that was 5,000, right?
Right, that's correct.
Right.
So he can enter.
He can enter.
But sad news, Jordan, we can't. It has been
I still need the
confirmed.
double check that. I still don't want to believe it. Alright, well people, of course, we saw a masterclass in attacking football in the Champions League last Wednesday between Bayern Munich and PSG. And it was the reigning champions PSG who came away with a 5-4 win over Bayern. I don't think anybody would have predicted 9 goals in a Champions League first leg semi-final. And we saw the best of the best on display. The attacking qualities were on display from both Bayern and PSG. And I want to tell you, Bayern took the lead and then once PSG fought back and PSG were up commandingly 5-2 at one stage, you thought, alright, PSG just going to see this one over the line.
Right.
All of a sudden, next thing you know, Bayern scored 2 more quick goals and all of a sudden it's just a 1-goal deficit heading back to the second leg. But the thing about it is that I think both these teams, for as much of the attacking prowess that we saw from both the teams, and people were cloning Arsenal and Atletico saying, boy, after that brilliant match between Bayern and PSG, we have to sit through a snooze fest between Arsenal and Atletico for the first leg last week. But there are pros and cons, and if you're attacking that much, if you're scoring that much, then obviously there are questions to be asked about defending and the goalkeeping. And I think I saw a stat. Correct me if I'm wrong out there, people. I saw a stat that it was the first time that a goalkeeper would have conceded 5 goals in a Champions League semi-final without saving a shot.
Right.
Manuel Neuer did not save a shot in the game.
He went on a banana mission.
Yeah, and one of the greatest goalkeepers this
Right.
game has ever seen. I guess in some people's mind, probably the greatest goalkeeper ever.
Yeah, that's
So that was a big surprise. But guess what? For the neutral, for somebody like me, That was a great watch. Of course, I'm hoping that them score all of the goals no and leave nothing unfired against my team. But I tell you what, it's going to be a different proposition. And I think it's going to be a different proposition for the second leg as well. And we'll talk about that as the adjustment challenge.
Well, before we move on, Jordan, let me declare this here. If Arsenal wins the Champions League, I am coming here in an Arsenal jersey. Mark my words. I'm going to wear it for at least 2 episodes.
Is it the Champions League?
The Champions League.
What if Arsenal win the double? Champions League and the Premier League? Because I don't know if you... Have you already said that Premier League is done now? Based on City dropping points?
No, I still think
You still think it's on?
I still think it's on. And if you guys win the Premier League, I'm coming here for the entire month in an Arsenal jersey. People, now, all me tomorrow, they can't. I'm not going to wear an Arsenal jersey, man.
I mean, it's a record now, so you can't take it back. Alright, of course, I want to talk about the English Premier League fixtures as well. And some exciting English Premier League fixtures over the weekend. Of course, the biggest one of them all is the City versus Liverpool. Well, let's start with Arsenal beating Fulham by 3-0 and to move. At that point, it was 6 points clear of City. Then City dropped points to Everton, a 3-3 draw on Monday. So then it became 5 points clear for Arsenal. Of course, City still have a game in hand. So the pressure is now on Manchester City to try to chase Arsenal because the title is now back in Arsenal's hands. That 3-0 defeat, a 3-0 win over Fulham for me. I don't know if I predicted 3-0, but I thought that Arsenal would have been comfortable winners over Fulham. Fulham has never beaten Arsenal at home in the Premier League, I think, statistic. And I mean, based on the confidence that the team gained from the 1-0 win over Newcastle, because even though that was just 1-0, I think Arsenal would just lost that game over Newcastle. I just felt like they were going to go into that Fulham game and boss it and just win it. I never knew we were going to have 3 goals in the first half. And I wish there were more in the second half, just to boost the goal difference.
Right.
Because the title still can come down to goal difference, by the way, people. So I was hoping for more goals from the Gunners, but I can't complain. 3-0 at this stage of the season. Yeah, when we were struggling for goals before that, then kudos to Arsenal for that victory. Manchester United, your team shot.
Big side. There wasn't a doubt, The only thing that we couldn't predict was, well, you predicted the scoreline.
I predicted the scoreline.
Yes. Big up to you for that. I said 2-1, you said
I said
3-2.
I said 3-2. I thought it was going to be high scoring.
Yeah.
I know, as you said, form will go through the window when these two teams play, but both teams have been playing relatively well, specifically Manchester United. And I just thought that Man U would have had the edge. Strange old game though, Shaq.
Strange.
A game of 2 halves and then some.
Because funny enough, Manchester United came up blazing in the first half. To how it looked, I was saying, alright, Liverpool is going to get crushed. The start of the second half, it was the opposite. Yeah, Liverpool came back 2-0, but big up to Kobe Bain, the winner. Our young general. I can't complain.
I tell you, I am obviously not a United fan, but I'm a fan of Kobe Bain. I think he's
big
a
baller.
Brilliant young player, and I know he was on the fringes under the previous manager.
I hope he's watching this now, and I hope you don't get an next coaching career. You don't deserve it.
Yeah, Ruben Amorim wasn't a big fan. Well, he didn't fit into his system. I don't want to get into that with United fans, but of course, he's getting the opportunity and taking it with both hands now. Kudos to Manchester United for winning the Premier League. Sorry.
Next season.
Kudos to Manchester United
next season
for clinching a Champions League spot. I was like, why are United fans celebrating like you win the league? Come on, you're used to this. Come on, United fans.
But based on where we're coming from, we deserve a trophy. Trust me.
We get a 3rd place trophy, people. I was teased for years for Arsenal getting the 4th place trophy. So 3rd place trophy goes to Manchester United, and they're in the Champions League. Of course, Liverpool and Aston Villa battling it out for the other 2 places. But as I said last week, I already thought that Champions League places were done and dusted.
Yeah, you
top 2 already defined. I still think Manchester United, would have too much to hold on for people to pass it for the 3rd place. And I think Liverpool will stay where they are and Villa will stay where they are as well. So over to the Champions League. And of course, how we started the show. Big news for the Gunners, for my Gunners of course. And we're into the Champions League final. And people, I know a lot of people expected me to come here and be, splashing champagne and things, but I'm not celebrating it. Because in the words of the late great Kobe Bryant, job's not finished, right? Arsenal beat Atletico Madrid by 1-0 The second leg semi-final, of course, is a 2-1 aggregate victory because the first leg at the Metropolitano was 1-1 between Arsenal and Atletico. Bukayo Saka was the hero, getting the decisive goal in the first half. And of course, Arsenal shut it down after that. Atletico, you shall not pass. That's what it was after that. Even though Atletico was searching for a goal. So, of course, the first Champions League final for my team since 2006, when the great Thierry Henry took us to the final and we were robbed blindly against Barcelona. Barcelona won that final in 2006 2-1. But we're back there. We're back, I think, where we belong, and I really hope that we can get over the line. Shams, I really hope that you have enough Arsenal jerseys. I don't know if you're going to get from the time, but I promise you, stop buying them now.
I mean, I'm a man of my word, so once that happens, I'll have to warm up to it. So
yeah. So of course, I will talk about the Bayern PSG second leg. We'll talk about the first leg, of course. But yes, the Premier League title race as well, and the relegation battle simultaneously are going to clash this weekend again. So I went on it last week, Shaq. Arsenal, even though Arsenal, yes, they have one eye on the Premier League, full on weekend, and then one eye on the Champions League second leg against Atletico, and then one eye again against West Ham.
Right.
In the Premier League against Arsenal will play West Ham. West Ham, of course, fighting for their Premier League lives, and Arsenal, of course, fighting for the Premier League title. Gunners are placed at number 58 to take out 3 points, while the desperate West Ham, their outsiders at $5, and the draw is sitting right in the middle at $4.
That one doesn't surprise me. Based on the form that Arsenal are in their clear favorites, and I don't see West Ham doing anything with that. I'm so sorry.
It is a London derby between Arsenal and West Ham, and of course, for Arsenal fans, obviously the job is to get all 3 points. And I think if you can get out of sight in terms of goals, then you want to do that as well. A little bit of a bittersweet, because if it was a situation where Arsenal could let West Ham in and get Spurs ready. No, I'm joking. No. Listen, I want Spurs to be in the league next season because you want that North London derby right.
It's good for business.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine that big stadium in the championship? Come on, like, how are you going to fill that stadium? What are you going to pay for that?
That's right.
Of course, Mikel Arteta's side need 3 wins from their final 3 matches to ensure that it stays in their hands, of course, as long as City in their other games. City has again in 4 games for City. And in the first Premier League ground in 22 years, and it starts right here in East London. City gave Arsenal a route back, of course, after dropping 2 points to a strong Everton team, a really well-playing Everton team.
Came out like prime Barcelona.
In a thrilling 6-goal match, that game ended 3-all. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, and I want to tell you, I mean, Everton should have won that. Everton was leading that game 3-1 after City took a 1-0 lead, and I thought this is all over by the shout. 3 points dropped for City, and Arsenal onto the title. But I still think City has not given up on it. I saw that little fist bump from Pep Guardiola on the sideline. To me, he was saying we're still in this.
Right. Because they didn't lose.
They didn't lose. And there's no. I mean, people were talking. I remember when City drew level with Arsenal. People were talking about both teams going to win the rest of the game, but City don't win on goal difference. And I'm like, no. The fixtures are tougher. City are the tougher fixtures.
They do have the.
They still have Bournemouth to play. Still have Brentford to play.
And I think they're gonna drop points again for sure.
So there it is for City. This weekend, heavyweight clashes again. Liverpool and Chelsea. Both teams having end of season objectives. Chelsea spiraling out of control, unfortunately for them. Another London rival team. Boy, oh boy, they are struggling to find their footing, and Liverpool looking to rebound from that 3-2 loss to Manchester United. Liverpool favourites at $1.84 to take out 3 points. The draw is $3.75, and Chelsea, they're outsiders at $3.66. Yeah, no surprises there.
No surprises.
In fact, the biggest surprise is probably that Chelsea are bigger underdogs.
Right. And the bookmakers got this one right. I don't see Chelsea having a chance against Liverpool. No matter how much they're not consistent, but Chelsea right now is in a downward spiral. I don't see them getting a draw. I'd be surprised if they even score.
Yeah, it's been tough for them. They've been losing, they've been struggling to score goals. They scored one at the weekend, but boy, they've been conceding so many goals, and it's going to be tough. Manchester City will return to the Etihad, knowing that every match is a must-win for them, as they see Arsenal chasing towards the title, and City will know that, you know, a win is going to be almost necessary. I mean, again, mathematically, if they don't win, clearly, there's still a chance. But in all reality, if they don't win, the title chase is all but over. City are clear favourites in their match, of course, at $1.30. The draw is $3.75, and Brentford are at $1.81. So that shows you that bookmakers really believe that Brentford have a real look in.
They do, because they play good football.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad they don't have anything playing for. I just guess they want to spoil everybody.
Pride.
Yeah.
Professionalism. I've said it. I've said, listen, people, teams have the same energy that you have for Arsenal that you do for City, and Everton already started with that.
Them are listening.
So
I think they're watching the podcast.
I hope so. So let's hope Brentford is also watching the podcast and will make life tough. And I expect them to make life tough for City.
Yeah.
Because they've been a tough opposition all season.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they can find goals at Brentford team, and the pressure will be you're under pressure on City, and they'll know that they also have to try to go out and win an FA Cup as well. And the fixtures coming thick and fast, and knowing that if Arsenal keep running away, then that adds more pressure to them. Brentford, of course, they won't necessarily arrive intimidated, because they have a reputation of beating big teams. Yeah,
they're the modern day Swansea. Yeah.
Yeah, and whether chasing points or a strong finish or just pride, just professionalism, just wanting to, match wits with the elites of the league. I think that Brentford understand their assignment, and I expect them to make it a very tough game for City. Tottenham Hotspur,
relegation time. No.
They are. They're happy. They're happy because they're coming off a win weekend finally for them, from their perspective. I know they're gonna go up against Leeds, right? And they're not out of the woods. They still need to keep winning. They don't know what West Ham is gonna do against Arsenal, but that Leeds team has been showing some signs.
Yeah.
That Leeds team has been taking some scalps. They've been even when they lost the fairy tale run for them ended in the FA Cup.
Right.
Beat by Chelsea, but that Leeds team has some quality. They've been putting in the goals.
They beat me.
Yeah.
They
Beat United at Old Trafford for the first time I think in 41 years. Okafor has been finding it, so there's confidence there in that Leeds team. So I don't know, Spurs, De Zerbi, you'll have to find something again against that top team. I mean, not a top team, a team that is above you.
right, and it's
and a team that is playing in form. Tottenham price at $1.73 to take the win. The draw and a Leeds victory are at $4.
You know from here that you know what they're on.
That's tempting.
The $4 odds look like Christmas month.
Yeah, I would be tempted to go for that $4 odds for Leeds meeting Tottenham Hotspur. Alright, switching our focus to the Champions League. Secondly, Bayern Munich, PSG in a blockbuster show. 9 goals in the first leg. The odds give Bayern the edge at home, with the German Giants priced at $1.61. The draw is at $5 and PSG $3.80 for the win. A sign of respect to Bayern's dominance in familiar surroundings, but also a reminder that PSG, they're more than capable of upsetting even on the road. And I mean, PSG, for all intents and purposes, they don't have to win.
Yeah.
Obviously they have to avoid defeat. They're leading 5-4, and they are a team very complete and very well equipped to control possession and to wear opposition down. And Bayern will be chasing that game.
They will be. And that's the thing. PSG can't go in and try to defend, because once Bayern score, that's it.
Yeah.
The game will be over.
So was the catch some of the
Yeah. I think that both teams will come with the intention to win. I don't think anything will change from the first game. It's going to be high pace, high energy, and a lot of goals.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see a kind of a repeat of that performance. Not necessarily the outcome, because the scoreline 5-4, you don't see it a lot, right?
Yeah.
But I just wonder if it will be that kind of back and forth game. If that doesn't suit PSG, then again they'll be on the road.
They'll be on the road.
And I know Bayern will definitely love that.
Yeah, man. They're coming out funny.
Yeah, so with the pace they have, with the quality they have up front, with Olise and Luis Diaz and Hurricane, they'll be looking to really spring the speed on that PSG team. But I know PSG want to dominate midfield and use Vitinha and so on,
Right,
take it like a
right.
game.
They'll try, they'll try to maintain it.
Dembele and so on. But let's see what happens. I mean, I think that both these teams, will be a little bit more tactically aware, more so PSG with Luis Enrique because they lead. I think Bayern will more than likely be Bayern. But as you said, if Bayern score early, it's a completely different
It's
game.
a complete.
So now it's 5-all, and there'll probably be a little bit more. PSG will push up, go for a goal. Might be spaces behind, and if they go behind, then we might see a trap. So
That's all right.
so let's see what happens in that game. Of course, Chris is the man who him always have the bet builder, right?
Genius, so call it.
Gino Sugar. Always have the bet builders. And based on the playouts that we've been having shop week after week, I know that people are taking the pointers from Chris.
This is the number one star in America.
Alright, so I'm going to go for Chris and then Sean and Chris will talk about some bets and some insights.
Alright, Chris, welcome back. Anytime we see money time,
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's all you
pick up
should
yourself. Beat you over the weekend, but not feel no way.
Sure.
3-2. Yeah, like,
Why you bring that up?
I have to have the only trophy me have.
Overbeat them.
Yeah, the only trophy me have.
Fair. That's good. But I thought I would have been in first, but when you meeting in Liverpool, no. I came here, I said, that's not bad. I'm going to give my adjustment some good tips. So today, I
Yeah.
have 3 tips. 2 sure, 1 chance. Sure, you're not going to like them, but guess what? You're not that important. My customers, they see how much money they get. How much money they get, Chap?
Over 63 million.
63. Over 63.
Over 63 million, my boss.
So based on that, I thought about it and said, you know what? Give the customers some nice save.
Right. I
Let me
like
tell
that.
you. Alright.
Mm.
Jordan spoke about stats that is very interesting. Bayern League, last 10 previous first leg semi-final that they have lost, that they have played, they have been eliminated in 9.
Yeah, he did say that.
However, at home this year, Bayern is unbeaten. All 16 at home, Champions League they have won. PSG is on fire. So for me, it's a little difficult to choose a winner. So what I do, I start with either team to win.
Okay, so that's the first thing. Either
That's the
team to
first
win. Alright.
I'm going to say over 2 beats. 3 more
Yeah,
beats.
that's a gift.
That's a game.
That's a gift.
Both teams will score. It's
That's
a game.
also a given as well.
And over 3 cards will be issued. Let me tell you why. Both teams are very good attacking players. So the defense would be stretched and people will get tired. So they will start to tackle hard. So I figure we will have over 3 cards. At 10,000 bet, they get 26,250. And then I keep telling you the shot. Don't forget this. You drop your money, get a little brown.
A win is a win, right?
A win is a
A
win.
win is a win.
I always say, my customers call the boss, correct? What we spend, you good.
Yeah.
Don't give us too much technical.
Yeah, don't be like Shal.
Well, sharp, we will give you winners. So
Yeah, that's true. Alright, so that's one. I like that one, Chris. Give us another sure bit.
all right, sure bit. First leg was 5-4. PSG 1-5. The best 2 attacking team. So I'm seeing over 3 goals easy.
Okay, I like that.
Both teams will score.
I like that one. as well.
And the big man himself, Hurricane,
Yeah.
will score anytime in the game.
Anytime. So it
So
doesn't matter if
It don't
it's
matter
first or
what
second.
first, second, he will score. So I think this is, we call him Sue.
So
This is the surest of sure people. So jump on this one up. 10,000 bet again, 22,500.
listen, they say anytime Chris gonna advise, please take. May I tell you, I get the DMs daily every time the podcast drop with the congratulations. So who new to it? Just follow Chris. Hear that? Alright, Chris, so you give it 2 super. You know me and my fans them want a big odds. We like to risk it. So He was up for that.
So life is a risk.
Yeah.
So yes, I am going to choose two teams. I don't know if I can call them team. My team, Liverpool not playing well.
Right.
Chelsea spiraling down. So Chelsea can't beat themselves and Liverpool can't beat nobody.
Right.
So I sat down and I looked and I said, what can I go? So, you know, Liverpool at home, Chelsea away. Chelsea basically, well, they just scored a goal that day.
Yeah, finally.
So I am going to say Chelsea will score first against Liverpool, and then Liverpool will win the match. Because I heard you earlier, you predicted Liverpool to win. So Chelsea will score the first goal,
Right.
and Liverpool will win the match. And that's a $9.
Or just two
selections.
$9?
45,000. You see how easy that was? The problem with that version is two teams you will not be sure.
Yeah.
But what is sure though, somebody will score.
Right. That's
And I'm
correct.
hoping Liverpool can at least redeem themselves.
Right. So once Chelsea scores
First,
and Liverpool comes back to win the game, you're telling me that $5,000 gives me 45,000?
yes sir, $9
I
odds.
don't
Jump
need
onto that.
Yeah, I don't need nothing more than that. I
Right,
don't need
boss?
nothing more than that. Chris, these three predictions, I love them. We're gonna put them up on the screen for the punters, and trust me, I know that you won't disappoint. I know that you won't disappoint.
I am prepared. I have prepared myself for my customers. My gamers are the best. As a matter of fact, we spoke about it last week. They are the smartest gamers around. Come on, then jump on it.
Alright, I love that. I love that. Chris, thanks again. You don't know, anytime money are going out of pocket, people are happy, and I am happy.
And I am happy
Yes,
also.
Michael. And you know our tagline, just bet and
Win people.
that's right. Jordan, it's always so good to hear from Chris.
Yeah, man.
Gene said,
Punters up.
oh gosh, man, happier than me.
We're gonna come announce next week, so they'll more than the previous week again.
Every week. What's set the record? I think Chris won't pay with 100 million. So, you know, we go. Alright, so Jordan, before we go in on this week's Just Bet Challenge, you keeping score?
Yes, I am. I'm easy now. The prediction challenge that we've been doing. I've taken the lead.
Yeah, big up, big up.
Sean was leading me last week, but now I've taken the lead. And let me tell you the three matches that we bet on, or predicted, I should say. Because Shop had Atletico Madrid beating Arsenal 1-0 the first leg semi-final. I had the match ending 1-1. And of course, it ended 1-1, so I got the prediction right, score right, and the result right. So we got a draw, and it was a correct score. In terms of Arsenal versus Fulham on the weekend, Shop had Arsenal winning 2-1, and I had Arsenal winning 2-0. So it ended 3-0. So both of us got a point for that one. And for Manchester United versus Liverpool, Shop's team. Shop had Manchester United winning 2-1, and I had Manchester United winning 3-2. What do you know? It's a 3-2 win for Manchester United. So, from my side, people, sitting pretty with my prediction. So you can start making money off of me. So now that we have that out of the way, Sean, time now for the Just Bet Challenge. And of course, we've been talking about big matches coming up this week. None bigger than the Champions League second leg semi-final between Bayern and PSG. Of course, PSG lead the tie 5-4 after the first leg. But we're going back to the Allianz Arena now. Bayern's backyard. Bayern overturned that deficit. An interesting stat before we get to that. Of the 10 Champions League ties that Bayern have played, and they've gone down in the first leg, they've lost 9 times. So they only come back from a first leg deficit once out of 10 times. So that's a very interesting statistic to keep in mind. And you know PSG is the reigning champion.
Right.
So that's a tough proposition. But I'm going to go first with this one, and I am going to say that PSG will win. I'm going to say PSG takes this one by 2-1.
I think PSG will win too, but I think it will be a 3-2 victory.
3-2 for PSG. Yeah, so PSG into the Champions League final is what both of us are saying, to face off against the vaunted, the mighty Arsenal team. And of course, looking at Liverpool versus Chelsea. Liverpool looking, of course, to rebound from their defeat to Manchester United, but Chelsea just looking for anything at this point. Just looking for a win. They're begging for a win, this Chelsea team. But I mean, based on recent history, I have to go with Liverpool in this one. And I'm going to say it's going to be fairly comfortable for Liverpool. I'm going to give them a 3-1 victory.
Yeah, I can agree with the Liverpool victory, but I don't want to be comfortable. I'm going with a 1-0 to Liverpool.
Okay. Manchester City versus Brentford. And of course, I have particular interest in this game for more reasons than one. But obviously, I'm hoping that Brentford will be able to pull the upset against Manchester City. I had hoped that previously and it never worked out. But then Everton came up big and held City to a 3-1 draw. I'm going to say City still reeling from dropping points to Everton and looking very frail at the back, allowing 3 goals. I'm going to say Brentford take this one by 2 goals to 1 over Manchester City.
I'm saying Manchester City will win 2 goals to 1. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're looking at West Ham versus Arsenal. Of course, London Derby. Arsenal looking to ensure that they put one hand on the English Premier League title. West Ham fighting for their Premier League lives. Arsenal to win, not just because I'm the Arsenal man, but I'm going to say Arsenal win, and I'm going to say comfortably actually. I'm going to say Arsenal win this one by 2 goals to 0.
Easy to say. Yeah, Arsenal is going to win this one 3 goals to 0. I don't say West Ham and the rat up there. They want to close this out before the Champions League final.
Alright,
So, yeah.
You see people, you might talk with sense now. All of a sudden, you've seen the light. People sounds more confident than I do. So, Shav has been converted, people.
But no, for this time, I hope I'm wrong.
And Tottenham Hotspur, of course, they're going to be facing Leeds United. Leeds, as I said, been showing some good signs lately. Tottenham finally getting a win, and Roberto De Zerbi's side feeling good about life. I am going to say Tottenham actually win this one. Make consecutive wins. I'm going to give Tottenham a 3-2 victory. I think it will be an exciting match. Leeds has been scoring goals lately. And Tottenham has also been able to find a net. So I'm going to say Tottenham wins this one by 3 goals to 2.
I think this one's going to be a draw. I'm going to call a 2-2 draw for this one. Yeah.
Keeping the relegation battle
yeah,
still
keep it nice.
wide open. Still wide open between West Ham and Tottenham. 2 London teams, by the way. And by the way, people, talking about the Premier League, Shab and I had the opportunity to see the trophy that Arsenal will be lifting up close and personal last week, Friday. Good vibe, Shab.
Good vibes.
Good vibe. That was nice to be able to see it. And the trophy was doing the rounds.
Yeah,
it was even on the beach.
Right.
So I was like, people, careful. We don't want to smudge it up or dirty it up before Arsenal lift it. Because this is a special moment. First time in 22 years. So careful with the trophy, people. But it was good. It was good to have the opportunity to see the trophy. And Shab and I take a picture of the trophy, so you'll see that too. But of course, the road to the greatest show on earth is heating up. And you can win the experience of a lifetime. All you have to do is place a bet, $2,500 or more, on any game, in store or online, for a chance to win an all-expense-paid trip to New York for a football experience like no other. None other comes close. You heard that right? $2,500 or more on a bet, in store or online. Complete the entry form at goldrush.justbetja.com. And the last chance to enter is May 16. May 16, people. So grab your chances now. Once you place a bet, goldrush.justbetja.com, fill out the entry form, and you have a chance to win.
Just like
Yeah, honest experience, VIP experience,
money in your pocket.
spending money, and watching the greatest show on earth in the big apple. What's the better than that?
Doesn't get any better than that.
Does not get any better than that, people. And of course, we could talk all day long, but that brings an end to Just Bet TV for this week. Remember to bet smart and stay informed. And if you have a hot take or a winning bet, drop it in the comments, and we might feature you in the show. Thank you so much for having joined us. Until next week, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Shav.
And this has been Just Bet TV. Your game, your passion.
See you next week.